Hi guys, this is Chukwuka John here again, and today I am going to be talking about my journey from finance to cybersecurity. Most of you will think that these are two totally unrelated fields, so why the jump from finance to cybersecurity? That is what I'm going to be talking about today. So I know that this time that you are going to be spending with me today is going to be a time invested. So make sure that um, tone down other distractions and listen to this one. Now, let's go down to this journey. So some time ago, I made a video about graduating with first class or summa cum laude, as you have it here in the United States of America. Now, most of you will think that that academic excellence, that academic achievements will translate straight to the workforce. Now I tried, really, really tried. You know, I made over 700 different applications to different financial companies, insurance companies. Now, little did I know that most of well, let me not say most, but some of the jobs in finance are mostly sales jobs. So you've got to really, really learn how to sell. Even if you are working in a bank, you must have to learn how to sell some of the bank's products to the end clients who might be the businesses or just financial consumers. So you must really, really learn how to sell. And I wasn't fully prepared for that reality. So my my academic excellence didn't actually translate very well. Not only because of that, but the field of finance they require you to be a whole lot more, right? You must have done internships. You must have had a whole lot of experience, and so I had a whole lot of barrier to break if I was going to go into finance. It was a lot. It was a lot. Coupled with the fact that I was an international student then, and I had like a very, very constrained time to get a job in finance so I can be in good shape with the United States government and make sure that I'm checking all the boxes that was required of me. But things didn't happen as I wanted them to happen. I didn't get a job in finance. I made up to 700 different applications. Yeah, and I got about 5 to 10 interviews out of that. Or maybe I got about 5 to 10 replies. Then I got about 5 interviews out of that. And none of the interviews worked, right? So that was really, really a very troubling time. It was a very, very testing time. I was wondering to myself, all these late nights studying, all those sacrifices that I made while I was in school, were they all in vain, right? So in my despair, in my agony, if you would say, I I really prayed. I prayed to God. I said, God, um, the next field that I'm going to go into, and this was verbatim my words, that I want a field where I am going to be in demand because of my excellence, right? Because if this summa cum laude is not translating, directly translating to me being in demand, I don't know why else I should be studying so hard in school. It doesn't make any sense to me, right? Everybody wants a good life for themselves and also for their family. And with this not translating, it kind of hampered my spirit. So these were my prayers, that I really, really want to be in a field, in a career that I am always in demand. That was it. That was just it. So I started researching. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys the research tools that I used. Um, I started researching, and I went to now. As of this stage, I didn't want anybody to tell me, hey, go into this place, hey, go into that place because you're going to get a job, you're going to go. I want a field that has a whole lot of demand in it, And that demand must have to be data driven. I need to see the data that this field is in demand, right? So that was my concern. And that is what I am going to show you guys real quick right now.
All right, guys. So, in an effort to make sure that the career field that I was going to go into, number one is data driven. I had to look for authoritative sites out there that I can do my research on. So, my research was not only restricted to some random articles that I find on social media or I find on Google or what have you. I made sure that my research is from authoritative websites. So this was the first website that that I went into, and as you can see, this is the BLS.gov website. So how you know it's an authoritative website is this domain extension right here, the gov. So that shows you that this is a government website. You could see it here that the two major government websites are extensions are .gov and also .mil. So this is for military and this is for other government extensions. So this is the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So in this website, this is where a whole lot of other newspapers go for their data, right? So data is published on monthly basis on this website. So in this website, you could try to calculate what is the unemployment rate in United States, right? Or you want to calculate what the inflation rates. You could calculate this inflation using the inflation CPI, and they have like monthly or weekly publications. U.S. export index, import index, and this is basically how you calculate what is going on in the economy, right? So this is what this website is here for. It helps you put those data into perspective. So this was where I went and started doing my research in cybersecurity because I really, 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 really wanted to know that this field that I'm going into, that I'm going to get a job after doing my necessary studies in it. So first of all, I saw an article. I saw an article on the internet, and that article said that year 2018, around 2018 or 2020, between that range, there was 0% unemployment rate, and this particular website kind of actually restates that. So you could see here that cybersecurity talent gap is real. In 2019-2020 official annual cybersecurity job report predicts that there will be 3.5 million cybersecurity jobs left unfilled globally by 2021. Wow. So it says that the cybersecurity profession hits a 0% unemployment rate and the pay is good. So this was what actually sold me out into cybersecurity, right? So it says that the profession hit a 0%. So that article I saw when I was doing my research several years ago actually kind of stated something like this. And this was what made me to actually go deep into my research. So I went to this website right here and I typed cybersecurity. So when you type it right here, you figure out that cybersecurity is also the same thing as information security, right? Because in the definition of cybersecurity, it's defined as protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information and information systems, right? So in this website, it's not listed as cyber security, but it is listed as information security. So this is it right here, and it is called information security analyst. But this website kind of gives you like more like an average overview of what is going on out there. So even in cybersecurity, there are several fields and there are several sectors inside cybersecurity. So let's do a deep dive into this field. Number one, you could see that the median pay, 2021 median pay was around 102,600 per year. So $102,600 per year. So this is actually a very good. It was a good encouragement for me, right? Because when I was in finance, if you would have given me half of this amount, I would take, right, just to build my experience and all that. So this was very encouraging, and it says that the entry level education, it's bachelor's degree, and work experience in a related occupation is less than 5 years. Do they offer on the job training? None. Now, this is where I want you guys to pay attention, right? This is where I want you guys to understand how powerful this tool is, right? So it says the number of jobs in 2020, there were 141,200 jobs in 2020 alone, right? So this website, it's will kind of date it back a little bit, but it will give you a progressive data. And then this was what sold me out into the field. So number one, I figured out that there was 0% unemployment rate in cybersecurity, meaning that if you have a cybersecurity degree today, you are almost sure that you're getting a job tomorrow, right? So that these were my data points that I was looking towards to. So the job outlook. Now, I was looking at what is the 10-year job outlook of cybersecurity, right? Because I don't want to be in a field and there might be some scrimmages or there might be some things happening in the future where I don't have a job tomorrow, right? So I was making sure that within a 10-year period of time. Now, this is the projection that cybersecurity is projected to grow 33%. Now, this is much faster than the national average of other job projections, right? So you have to figure out this is a massive amount of number. It's a massive amount of number that this field is going to grow. Now, to understand this figure right here, I want to compare this field to other fields that are kind of predominant there. So I'm going to compare it with nursing. I'm going to compare it with physician and real estate brokers or agents, so you can understand, right? So let's compare it with. Remember this figure. So job outlook, it's projected to grow 33%. Um, let's say the registered nurses, right? Registered nurses. So this is a median pay, right? So this you need to understand what a median pay. So median pay is like you calculate all the number of the amount of money all the nurses in America make, right? And then you divide it by their number, right? So this is more like an average. So it gives you an average. So in nursing, average is 77,600, right? And then in cybersecurity, the average is like 102,600. That's the average, right? So, and these are the data points that this website collects from all the hospitals in United States, that have nurses and how much they are paid and all that. So, nurses on average they are paid $37 per hour, right? But look at this. Nurses, the field registered nurse is projected to grow 9% over this 10-year period of time from 2020 to 2030. It's projected to grow this fast, just 9%, right? Cybersecurity is projected to grow 33%. Cool. Let's look at physicians. Physicians and surgeons. Now, this is a very, very lucrative field to be in, right? So, and we need our doctors. We love having them around, and we always need them, right? So, on average, medical doctors make 208,000. So 208,000 per year. So this is on average, right? Most of them make more than this. Most of them make into the 300s and into the 400s, depending on your specialization and all that, right? So this is the number of jobs. number of jobs as of 2020, we have 727,000 jobs, right? But it is projected to grow at the rate of 3% over the 10-year period of time, right? Doctors will always have a job wherever they are, right? But I'm just looking at this projection. Now, let's look at real estate too. Real estate agents and brokers is projected to grow 4% over this period of time. And on average, they make $48,770 dollars, right? So this made cybersecurity field very, very interesting for me. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more of what's going on in this field that is projected to grow 33%, right? So then I got into it. I started studying. I had my master's, and I wrote a bunch of certifications. And man, a whole lot of people will be scared, right? Because when they hear about cybersecurity or hear about IT in general, they think about coding and all that. But it's not usually like that. It's not usually like that. I mean, I've been in the field for several years now, and I've had like perhaps 2 to 3 like coding projects and all that. So there is coding in cybersecurity, but you don't have to fret. You don't have to be afraid about all that. So I wanted to give you guys this tip. Something happened in 2021 last year that I wanted to kind of summarize, kind of here. So hackers hacked into Colonial Pipeline information system, and they encrypted the data. Colonial Pipeline hack explain everything you need to know. So they encrypted the data. So this is a ransomware attack whereby attackers or hackers get into a system, encrypt all the data, encrypt all their processes and all that, and tell you, hey, you have to pay us so amount of money, and then we'll give you a decryption key that you're going to use to decrypt your files and get your files back. Right now, some of these hackers, some of them keep to their words, some don't keep to their words. I mean, what is the leverage you have, right? And that's why in cybersecurity, we'll talk about having some redundant systems. We'll talk about some incident response procedures, and how do you recover, your systems if one major system goes down, right? So that on the side, but this is why I love cybersecurity. And I want you guys to, if you are thinking about this field, I want you guys to really, really sit down and analyze it, right? Number one, you have to figure out where is the money going. Figure out where is the money going. Now, because of that Colonial Pipeline attack, you could see that 30 billion, like Google, Microsoft, and some other companies, they are committing to investing about 30 billion into cybersecurity over the next 5 years. Guys, this is massive. This is massive. You need to understand where is the money going, then you can intelligently calculate where to invest your time in, right? So this is a very good career field to invest your time in if you are ever thinking about career change or anything. Now look at it. Now the big tech sectors is also rallying behind with the initial initiative, including, now this is it, Microsoft will invest 20 billion over the next 5 years to deliver advanced security solutions, in addition to making available 150 million in technical services to help federal, state, and local government with upgrading security protections. Google will invest over 100 billion to bolster cybersecurity, including expanding zero trust programs, helping secure the software supply chain, and enhancing open source security. Google will be investing 10 billion, right? And Apple will work with more than 9,000 of its suppliers to push for mass adoption of multi-factor authentication, vulnerability remediation, event logging, and security training. IBM will train 150,000 people in cybersecurity over the next 3 years, and will partner with 20 historically black colleges and universities to establish more diverse cyber workforce. Amazon will make available all Amazon Web Services account holders a multi-factor authentication device to protect against phishing and password theft at no cost. So these are the commitments that the big companies made. Guys, this is where the money is going. And if you've ever been on the fence of career field or career change, as a person who is in finance and as a person who loves to talk about how you could have a stable life, I would really say consider cybersecurity if you're ever thinking of a career change. So, but that's to say, this is how my research for a new career route led me into cybersecurity, and I'm really, really happy that I made a great choice, right?
So, guys, these were the factors that led me to enter into this field, cybersecurity, and I'm telling you, I'm not regretting it as of right now. It's such a great field to be in. Number one, you're seeing that the value that you're creating for your company has a direct impact to the outlook of the company, right? Making sure that you keep the bad guys out there, making sure that the good guys that are in have the necessary assets they need to do their job. You are enforcing the principle of least privilege, making sure that somebody, another department, doesn't have the privileges that is required for another department. So making sure that the company is tight enough, right? Unnecessary information is not being broken into. The systems are secure and all that. So it was quite a jump, right? Making that jump from finance to cybersecurity. But this is something that anybody can literally do. Once you put your mind to something, the sky is your limit. Literally, you have no limit to whatever you can accomplish. You have no limit to the thoughts that you develop. You have no limit to who you become tomorrow. So these were the factors surrounding my movement, and I've since gotten my master's in cybersecurity. So I got my master's in um, cybersecurity and information assurance from Western Governors University, and it's been a whole exciting journey. Um, I'm gonna be making another video of how I broke into the field of cybersecurity. So this particular video is just my journey from finance to cybersecurity, but I'm going to be making a much more detailed video about how I broke into the field of cybersecurity. Now, what am I going to be talking about? I'm going to be talking about from the time that I started doing my training till the time that um, I got a job to the time that what is the whole interview process like. So I'm going to be talking a whole lot more about it. And the reason why I'm spending time in this is because you need a stable job to start building your finance journey. I'm a finance guy, remember? I had my bachelor's in finance. You need a stable job to start building your finance journey. And from a stable job, you move into savings, right? You've got to have a robust savings. And from savings, you move into investments. So these are the things that I really, really want to be talking to you guys about to build this journey together with you guys and to help you elucidate you, to teach you that it is possible to actually live your dreams. It's possible to become whoever that you desire to be. So, thank you all for joining, and do expect my next video, how to break into cybersecurity. And from there, we'll talk about leadership more, we'll talk about real estate, and we'll talk about finances more. Till then, see you all next time.